to see something that said, take a look what happened.
Was outside of the perimeter, so our understanding is that
snipers were up on the roof.
Attempted assassination of Donald Trump.
The FBI is calling an assassination.
Other people have said that it could have been an attempted assassination on Donald Trump.
assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump at his rally.
And you know, that's
Secret Service.
At his campaign rally in Pennsylvania.
They fired shots. Stay over here. Have been an attempted assassination on Donald Trump.
Shannon saying, let me grab my shoes as they try to take them off. So we're just trying to figure out what happened.
Former President Trump is coming here next weekend. His campaign says he'll hold a rally in Butler on Saturday, July 13th.
When former President Donald Trump, all of his Secret Service and staff will be through these barn doors with likely thousands of people. At this point, we saw what appears to be an advance team for the rally, and judging from their license plates, possibly Secret Service members scoping this likely location. We say likely because even the exact spot of the stage isn't made public. This large open field is a pretty good guess, judging from the generators, and another clue, Robert Bricker knows he's hauling in lights for the rally and parking them here.
This weekend, we're going to see just how important Pennsylvania is. He's scheduled to speak at the Butler Farm show at 5 that evening.
Let me ask you this, because is this your first Trump rally?
no.
So I've covered a number of Trump rallies. I've been to almost every single Trump rally this cycle. You've been to a number as well. You're fully aware of the security precautions. Trump supporters, as they're making their way in, they have to go through magnetometers. Your bags are searched, your pockets are searched as well. And so any area where you're around the former president, there is a sense of safety.
Yeah. So you've got the inner perimeter, that's the event. Secret Service is in charge of that. You've got the outer perimeter, which is a mix of Secret Service and local law enforcement. And then you have the third perimeter, which is mostly local law enforcement. So when they say we've got a guy on the roof with a rifle, people are alerting them. Now your clock starts at around a minute.
That's all we want to do. If he was doing the job, I wouldn't even be doing this. I'd be at some beautiful place.
Look, they're all pointing.
The Atlantic, maybe the Pacific.
Yeah, someone's on top of the roof. Look.
Thank you.
There he is right there. Right there, see him? He's laying down. You see him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
Instead, I'm here with you fighting like hell to get a senator elected and to make sure we take back the White House, because if we do, we're going to make America better than ever before. We're going to make it.
Yeah, look. There he is.
Easy, because we have millions and millions of people in our country that shouldn't be here. Dangerous people. Criminals. We have criminals. We have drug dealers. We have people that should not be here.
Right on the roof.
It's much tougher than it happens.
You went right on the roof, big guy.
Up here.
In recorded history, we're the best border. In fact, if they could ever put up a chart, I don't know if they can do it. Do you guys have access to that chart that I love so much? And look what happened to our country. probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something to say, take a look what happened.
It's not clear how much the Secret Service knew about all of this at the time, but evidence now shows that close to 2 minutes of clear warnings didn't lead to the attack being stopped.
The Secret Service spokesman tells CNN that agents did not personally sweep the building where the gunman was perched at Saturday's rally. A source says one of 2 local counter snipers was supposed to be covering that very building. The Pennsylvania State Police says they were not responsible for that area.
So here's how this perimeter worked. This building was outside of the perimeter, so our understanding is that the Secret Service, that agency, did not sweep that building, but instead they left that to local law enforcement.
And tonight, ABC News has learned that heavily armed local police were stationed inside that building and missed Thomas Crooks climbing up the outside of the building to the roof. The same building was being used as a staging area for local police, according to 2 law enforcement officials.
So when you consider how perimeters are built out, there are basically concentric circles of responsibility here. So there's sort of a first line and a second line. And in this case, the Secret Service had deferred to the security of that building to local law enforcement. Ultimately, though, the Secret Service is responsible for the totality of that incident.
They were looking for a suspicious person in the area just before the shooting happened. What do you make of that?
We could clearly see him with a rifle, absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police are like, huh, what? You know, like they didn't know what was going on. You know, we're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. You know, he's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, 2 or 3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
Saw the guy move from roof to roof, told an officer that he was on the roof. The officer come looking. I went back to where I was standing, heard that there was somebody that could see the person, so I went back to where they were standing, saw the person, went back and told the officer again that if he goes back to that particular spot, he can see the person, figuring that he would go in radio. And when I turned around to go back to where I was is when the gunshots started, and then it was just chaos.
Several law enforcement officials are telling the AP that a local officer actually encountered the shooting suspect on the top of that building that he's accused of shooting from, climbed up onto the roof.
Sheriff Sloop also says that later, with the speech underway, an officer checked the roof of this building.
The officer had both hands up on the roof to get up onto the roof, never made it because the shooter had turned towards the officer, and rightfully and smartfully, the officer let go.
Outside the rally venue, before Trump started speaking, and was identified as a suspicious person.
Yes, we know this was on law enforcement's radar, that just moments before the president spoke, as rally goers were entering into the rally area, that they had identified a suspicious person to police there. We're also learning this from KDKA, our affiliate. At some point, there was an official from Butler County's Sheriff's Office, an officer that was hoisted by another officer on the roof of that shed where we saw those images of where the gunman had positioned himself. The shooter focused his rifle towards the officer, who at that point let go of his position on the roof, where he then fired toward the former president and into the crowd.
That's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look what happened.
Nobody's turning this way. Be careful. Hold, when you're ready, on you. Move.
Hawkeye's here.
Ready?
Yeah, where's that?
Good.
That's exactly why we need fucking Trump here.
Let's move.
Oh, fucking Secret Service don't fuck around. Holy shit. Yeah, look, they're undercover.
I got you, sir. I got you.
Let me get my shoes. So we gotta move to the bus. Let me get my shoes. Okay, my shoes down. Watch out.
And then I saw the people that had been shot, and they were bringing them down in the stands right above me, and I just didn't want to get down. I just kept standing. But I saw the man that was hit in the head, and there was a lot of blood, and I knew there was no way he was going to survive that.
It seemed to me the man got hit in the head from behind. He was killed instantly, as far as I could tell. And at that point, a state police and a SWAT team, started evacuating the bleachers, and then I helped carry the man out of the bleachers to a tent that was behind the bleachers.
You helped carry the man yourself. What was his condition when you were carrying him?
He's deceased. He died.
How close were you to him?
A couple yards. I mean, it wasn't very far.
Did you know the man?
No, that's a police ranger.
And you said there was another woman nearby who was also injured. Where was she in relation to him?
I believe she was in the bleachers, like either behind, above me, or just to the side of him. But it seemed like she was kind of at my flank, and then she flinched, and it looked like she had taken a gunshot wound to the forearm and hand.
It's also important to note that last night, 3 of our fellow Pennsylvanians were shot, 1 fatally, and 2 in critical condition. I've just spent time speaking to the families, and I want to offer my prayers and the prayers of all 13 million Pennsylvanians for the 2 individuals who are being treated at this time. We lost a fellow Pennsylvanian last night, Corey Comparator. I just spoke to Corey's wife and Corey's 2 daughters. Corey was a girl dad. Corey was a firefighter. Corey went to church every Sunday. Corey loved his community. And most especially, Corey loved his family. Corey was an avid supporter of the former president and was so excited to be there last night with him in the community. I asked Corey's wife if it would be okay for me to share that we spoke. She said yes. She also asked that I share with all of you that Corey died a hero. That Corey dove on his family to protect them last night at this rally. Corey was the very best of us. May his memory be a blessing.
Look, they're bringing Trump here. They're bringing Trump. You dirty mother. There goes Trump. There goes Trump. goes Trump.
And I want to introduce you to some folks who kindly pulled their vehicle over for us so that we could speak with them. This is Stacy and Vanessa. And as you said, Lester, the former president now posted on Truth Social describing how he was shot in his ear, grazed by a bullet in his right ear. Well, Vanessa was right there. You both were right in front of the former president when this happened. Can you describe what you witnessed?
Yes, we were 6 rows back, straight in front of him, at his podium. We could see him really good. He was talking about his chart, and he moved his head to the right to explain where they're at in the chart. And then as he moved his head to look at the chart up on the screen, that's when he got grazed in the ear. If he had not moved his head at that nick of time, it could have been a lot worse.
First and foremost, the assassination attempt on the former president, Donald Trump, last night was absolutely unacceptable and tragic. Lori and I are grateful that the former president is safe and, according to him and his team, is fine.
From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit to Houston. Let me begin this evening by expressing my gratitude to the American people for your outpouring of love and support following the assassination attempt at my rally on Saturday. Despite such a heinous attack, we unite this evening more determined than ever. I am more determined than ever, and so are you. So is everybody in this room.